Here's something that should probably make you a little angry. Two people board the same flight. Same departure city, same destination, same airline, same class, and one of them paid $430 while the other paid $812. Same exact seat. Now, is that person smarter? Did they have some special connection at the airline? A secret membership nobody told you about? Nope. They just knew how to use a free tool that's available to everyone, including you, in a way that most travelers never figure out. That tool is Google Flights. And before you click away thinking, yeah, I've used Google Flights, stay with me, because there's a version of Google Flights that most people are using, and then there's the real version, the one with layers most travelers never even open. By the end of this video, you're going to be operating at a completely different level when it comes to booking flights. We're not talking about surface level tips. We're going deep into the tools, the timing, the search combinations, and a few features Google quietly added that barely anyone is talking about yet. Let's get into it. Why you are overpaying. Okay, so before we jump into the good stuff, let's quickly address the elephant in the room. Most people approach flight booking the same way every single time. You open Google Flights, you type in where you're going, you pick your dates, you look at the prices, and then you either book because it seems fine or you wait and hope the price drops. And that's the thing. That strategy actually works sometimes, but it's leaving a lot of money on the table the rest of the time. Here's what most travelers don't realize. Airline pricing isn't random. It's incredibly calculated. Airlines use sophisticated algorithms that adjust prices based on demand, how far out you're booking, what day of the week it is, even which device you're searching from. They're essentially running a live auction every single minute of the day, and most passengers show up to that auction completely unprepared. Google Flights is your equalizer. It was built to give travelers transparency that airlines would honestly prefer you didn't have. But knowing it exists isn't enough. You have to know how to actually use it. So let's fix that right now. First, the booking window. Let's start with something foundational, because even the fanciest tricks in the world won't save you money if you book at the wrong time. There's a booking window, a sweet spot where airlines tend to offer their most competitive prices. Book too early and seats are still priced high because demand looks strong on paper. Book too late and you're competing with last-minute travelers who have no choice. Book in that sweet spot and you're catching airfare in the moment airlines are most motivated to fill seats at good prices. For domestic flights, that window is generally 1 to 3 months before departure. For international flights, you're looking at roughly 2 to 8 months out, depending on the route and the season. Travel experts at cheapair.com consistently back up that range, and it holds true on most major corridors. Now, peak travel seasons shift that window earlier. If you're flying somewhere in the summer and you're trying to book in April, you've already waited too long. Think about booking peak season international trips 6 to 8 months out. And off-season travel, you've got more runway to work with. Here's where Google Flights becomes your timing assistant. The platform actually shows you a price history graph for the route you're looking at. That little graph tells you whether the price you're seeing right now is high, average, or genuinely low compared to what the route has historically sold for. It even labels fares with tags like low, typical, or high right in the search results. So before you book anything, check that indicator. Is the price green? Is it labeled low? That's your signal. If it's typical or high, there are usually other levers you can pull, and those are coming up next, the Explore map. Now we're getting into the part where things start to feel like a superpower. Most people treat Google Flights like a search engine. They know where they're going, they search for it, and that's that. But the most experienced travel hackers flip that completely. They let the price decide the destination. Here's how that works. Go to googleflights.com. In the destination box, don't type anything. Instead, click on that Where To field and select Explore, or just type the word Anywhere and let Google do its thing. What you get is an interactive world map with hundreds of price bubbles floating over destinations all around the globe. You can zoom in on Europe, Latin America, Southeast Asia, anywhere. You can filter by trip length, budget, even number of stops. and the map updates in real time as you tweak your settings. This is how you go from, I want to go somewhere this spring, but nothing seems affordable, to, oh, flights to Porto are running $450 round trip right now, and I didn't even have Portugal on my list. Sometimes the best trip you'll ever take is one you didn't plan. The Explore map is genuinely that useful for breaking out of travel tunnel vision. And here's a trick inside the trick. If you want to filter Explore results by a specific airline, say you've got credits with United and you need to use them, Google Explore doesn't let you filter by single airline directly. But there's a workaround. Start a regular Google flight search, apply the United Airlines filter on any route, then replace the destination with Europe or anywhere. You've just hacked the Explore map into showing only United flights. Seriously clever. The AI chatbot feature. Alright, this one is brand new, and it's a game changer for people who don't always know exactly what they want. Google Flights now has an AI-powered search feature right on its homepage. You'll need to be signed into your Google account to access it, but once you are, you can literally type in a natural language request like, a 10-day trip to a city with incredible food in April for under $1,000 round trip from Chicago. And Google's AI will surface flight options that match that description, complete with destinations you might not even have thought of. You can search for things like a long weekend ski trip to a world-class resort, or a romantic getaway under $500, and Google will generate relevant destination options with real pricing attached. Now, full disclosure, the AI feature is still evolving. Vague, open-ended searches tend to get better results than very specific ones right now, but the direction this is heading is genuinely exciting. It's essentially turning flight search into a conversation rather than a form you fill out. Keep an eye on this feature as 2026 unfolds. It's going to get significantly more powerful. Hey, real quick, if you're finding this useful, go ahead and hit subscribe. We break down travel tools and money-saving strategies just like this regularly, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. Back to it. Date grid and calendar. Here's the truth about flight pricing. The exact same trip can cost wildly different amounts depending on which specific day you fly. We're not talking $5 or $10. We're talking $50, $100, sometimes $200, just from shifting your departure by 24 hours. Google Flights gives you two tools to see this clearly, the calendar view and the date grid. Most people know the calendar view exists. Far fewer people know that combining it with the date grid is where the real deal finding happens. Here's the workflow. After you run a search, scroll down and you'll find the date grid, a table showing departure dates along the top and return dates along the side. The prices populate the grid, with the cheapest combinations highlighted in green and marked with a star. Let's say you are planning to fly out on Thursday and return the following Tuesday. That cell might be $330, but the cell one column to the left, Wednesday departure, Tuesday return, might be $228. Same approximate trip length, over $100 cheaper. Now use that date grid alongside the calendar view. The calendar gives you a month-wide look at departure prices. The grid gives you the two-variable view, departure and return together. Use both. Cross-reference them. When you spot a green cell in the date grid that lines up with a cheap departure day in the calendar, that's your target. Even a 1 or 2 day shift in your travel window can unlock savings that feel almost ridiculous, especially on longer routes. And if your dates are truly fixed, the tools still help. You can use filters to narrow by departure time, arrival time, and number of stops, cutting through the noise so you're comparing apples to apples, rather than getting distracted by flights with 6-hour layovers priced deceptively low. Multi-city mastery. This might be the single most powerful feature in Google Flights that the average traveler has never tried, and it's sitting right at the top of the search page. Most people book either a round trip or a one-way, but there's a third option, multi-city, and when you know how to use it, it completely changes what's possible. The most common way people use multi-city is to visit 2 destinations on one trip, flying into London and out of Barcelona, for example. And yes, that's a great use of it. But there's a more tactical way to use it that can actually get you to one destination for less money than a traditional round trip. Here's the concept. Let's say you want to fly from Phoenix to London and back. A standard round trip might cost $516. But if you use multi-city and change your return departure city, not your destination, your return point, to a different European city like Helsinki, your total might drop to $466. And then a budget European carrier can get you from London to Helsinki for as little as $30 to $50 separately. You're seeing two cities and paying less than you would have for the flight to one. Currency and market trick. This one takes about 60 seconds of extra effort and can occasionally save you a meaningful chunk of money. Airfare pricing can vary based on which country's version of an airline website or booking system you're purchasing from. Google Flights defaults to your local currency and market, but the same route might be priced differently when viewed from a different country's booking environment. The most consistent example of this is cross-border routes between the US and Canada. A flight priced in Canadian dollars on an airline's Canadian site, when converted, sometimes comes out cheaper than the same flight priced directly in US dollars on the American site, or vice versa. The way to check this in Google Flights is to manually switch your country and currency settings at the bottom of the page. This used to require using a VPN to simulate being in another country, but Google Flights has made this significantly more straightforward. Just change the country and currency at the bottom, run the same search, and compare. One important caveat: if you do find a better price in a different currency, make sure the credit card you're paying with doesn't charge foreign transaction fees. Some cards charge 2 to 3% for international transactions, which can quickly erase any savings you found. Price alerts done right. Most people who use price alerts in Google Flights set them up for a specific flight on specific dates, and that's fine, but there's a more powerful way to set them up. Instead of tracking a single flight, track the entire route. When you set a route level alert, say New York to Paris, without locking in a specific itinerary, you get notified about price drops across all flight options for that corridor. That means Google might tip you off to a routing or layover combination you would never have searched manually. And the earlier you set the alert, the more price history data you accumulate. That gives you a real context for whether a drop is genuinely a deal or just a blip in the usual range. Now, price alerts have one real limitation worth knowing. They aren't instant. By the time you get an email notification, a mistake fare, an accidental deep discount published by the airline, might already be gone. For those, you need a different kind of tool. That's where dedicated flight deal services come in. Two worth knowing about: Thrifty Traveler and Going, formerly Scott's Cheap Flights, both have teams of humans actively monitoring airfare around the clock and sending out alerts when genuinely exceptional deals surface. They both have free and paid tiers. The paid tiers give you access to international business class and premium economy deals that can represent enormous savings on miles or dollars. If hunting for flights yourself isn't your hobby, these services do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. Next one is something that has saved a lot of travelers from an unpleasant surprise at the check-in counter: the baggage filter. Google Flights now has a baggage policies filter, and it's one of the most practically useful additions to the platform in recent years. When you're comparing flights, you can filter specifically for fares that include a carry-on bag or a checked bag as part of the base price. Why does this matter? Because budget airlines have gotten very good at advertising a $60 fare that looks amazing until you add a carry-on at the gate for $75, and suddenly you're paying more than the mainline carrier would have charged from the start. When you toggle the baggage filter to include a carry-on or checked bag, Google recalculates the displayed prices to reflect the total cost with that baggage included. Now you're comparing real all-in prices, not just base fares. And while you're in the filters menu, also worth checking non-stop only filters, maximum trip duration filters, and the new 2025 edition, the ability to exclude basic economy fares entirely if you want a ticket with normal change and cancellation flexibility. Last secret, and this one is worth checking on every international trip: 2 one-ways versus round trip. Booking a round trip on one airline is the default move, but sometimes, especially on longer international routes, booking two separate one-way tickets on different airlines comes out significantly cheaper. Here's the logic. Different airlines price their outbound and return legs differently depending on demand. If Airline A has the cheapest flight from New York to Rome and Airline B has the cheapest flight from Rome back to New York, booking both separately might undercut whatever any single airline charges for the round trip. The trade-off is real. Two tickets means two separate bookings, two sets of policies, and less protection if one flight affects the other. So this strategy makes more sense for straightforward itineraries than complex ones. But on a trip where you're potentially saving $100 or $200, it's absolutely worth spending 5 minutes to check. Run your round trip search first. Note the price. Then run the two one-ways separately and add them together. If the combined total is more than $20 or $30 cheaper, it's worth considering. And that's the full toolkit. Look, Google Flights is one of the most genuinely powerful free tools that exists for travelers. But like any tool, the results you get depend entirely on how you use it. Most people barely scratch the surface. Now you know the layers underneath. To recap what we covered. Booking in the right window so you're not overpaying by default, using the Explore map and the new AI search to let deals surface destinations you'd never have considered, combining the calendar view and date grid for the lowest possible fare on your specific dates, mastering multi-city search to build smarter itineraries, checking fares across different market currencies, setting up route-level price alerts and knowing when dedicated deal services are worth your time, using the baggage filter so you're always comparing true total costs, and checking whether two one-ways beat a round trip before you finalize anything. None of these tricks require an expensive tool, a travel agent, or any insider access. They just require knowing where to look. If this video helped you, subscribe right now. We've got more content like this coming that will genuinely change how you approach travel. And if you're heading into your next flight search after watching this, drop a comment and let me know which of these tips you're trying first. I read those. Safe travels, and may your next airfare be very, very cheap.